Neighborhood is C-Mac. Shout out my loc, Spider Loc, cuz. Neighborhood on hood. It's a beautiful world. You fight me? Fight, Chris.
Neighborhood Nip Hustle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spider Loc. You know, I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.
It's point blank, do no subliminal dissing. When I listen, I can tell you never been on no mission. Sticking to the script, don't care if I offend you. Neighborhood crib, the marathon
I overlook my competition, never seeing them. I done trained my mind that I'm going. You could tell by how I walk, talk, I'm a boss. A east side millionaire, homie, what you thought? My life is a movie. They can't get close to me. They mad cause they can't be. I'm everything that they wanna be, yeah. Better keep it a Google, keep it a Google, Google, gang.
You can't keep it a Google, then don't mention me. Run a check through the set, I bet them niggas mention me. Red Bull and Hennessy, I keep the same energy. No matter on a solo or a couple homies with me. Tell them come get me if they want confrontation. I keep a couple shooters with me. And we right here waiting on shit to pop off. Take a nigga top off, you tempt me. All that BS, you can miss me. Slide down Century, doing about 60 in the gutter lane. Faded off yak and drop the pistol, hopping out the rain. I won't change, keep it a Google, the only way. Mention me, I come out and play. That's on the gang. We're not the same, I ain't nothing like these rap niggas. Hanging with bangers, no bodyguards, we all strapped, nigga. All truth, no lies, facts over feelings. We ain't gon' start something we can't finish. Google gang.
Better keep that shit a Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts press, rest in peace. Keep it a Google, better keep it a Google. Keep that shit Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts press, rest in peace. Keep it a Google, you better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. You better keep it a Google. Better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. Google, bang.
Jeter. Gratitude is the attitude. This show is a blessing to be right back in the black box as we blow a succession on my mama. I don't know if y'all caught it, but throughout the intro we had some buffering. I hope we want to continue to be suffering. What's happening though, I know it's been a minute. The end of the year always gets kind of clogged up with activity. It seems for me, and I kind of get challenged. They go to buffering. I kind of get challenged to get here on a schedule that we kind of familiar with, right? But guess what? On my mama, no lie, as we should, we have a word of the day. Inelectable is a formal word meaning unable to be avoided, changed, or resisted, often followed by such words as fate and conclusion. It is a synonym of inevitable. Even the tallest mountains will one day be reduced to sand by the earth's slow yet ineluctable geological forces. That is a very interesting fact that they utilize to try to explain the world. I've heard things similar that the fact that the earth and the universe and our reality is a source of energy. The concept exists that there is not an infinite amount of energy to keep our existence just going on forever, and just the natural physics of things dictates that it will eventually burn out. It's like a light bulb burns out. They say the sun and everything has a limited amount of energy. That's just a crazy thought to even try to process. However, on my mama, seemed like parental, child, high-profile relationships, especially amongst us, are coming out with a lot of like drama in a public sense. One of the most recent ones we can recall that was covered amongst our culture was Marquise Jackson and his plight with his father. And me spending quite a substantial amount of time around Marquise as a young boy, you know, I can't help but have a personal desire for a young black man to have a healthy relationship with his father, regardless of anything else involved. I have that position in general for all of us. But when you know a young boy, you definitely have you would want the best for him, and I believe in the general sense, in most scenarios, that is the best. So we spoke on that. We didn't disrespect nobody. It's really not nobody business. However, it's being talked about by everybody, and what I feel like is really nobody business is the idea of passing judgment. Nobody knows behind the scenes. However, you can't compare the kind of like responses of fathers, even with the T.I. and King situation. It's just parental, like you see celebrity, lifestyle, success, and then you see the effects it's having on a multitude of the young people that we are familiar with that have come up. I see a lot of people saying Romeo spoiled, entitled, a passing judgment. And I understand why everybody would just say that off top. However, I'm one that also understands, and understands that it ain't always what it seems. And we look at a life of celebrity and fame, and we automatically equate that to a successful attempt at connecting with your child and doing what's appropriate for them and your family in general. And I'm just like everybody else. All these years, ICDC and all before that, never saw this coming. But I don't feel it's my place to pass judgment on Romeo nor Master P. Once again, I hate the fact that it's being politicked on the public platforms. I'm aware of what Master P has claimed to try to communicate with his son on behind the scenes, and he's been unsuccessful. I seen what his son responded and said. And it's easy to be on the surface to say, like, oh, Romeo should wop. I can get why everybody comes to that conclusion off top. It's because they're trying to have they're passing judgment on this situation based on what they've seen through the media all these years. Not realizing what Romeo is stating is that that's not the actuality of their reality. And, here he is in his 30s, and he feels the need to come out and speaking in such a fashion. It's interesting and at best, but I really feel like it's a sad thing that we all are being exposed to so much of the intimate interactions between a father and a son. And the fact that Romeo is stating or threatening or projecting that once he tells his truth, the picture will be more clear. I can't invalidate his position just by going off what we've seen all these years. When you think about it, it could be said that Joe Jackson, Michael Jackson owes everything to his father as far as his success, the way he was raised, the pressure he put on him. But then they've tried to paint another side of that picture as if it wasn't, a real loving parental situation. So you wonder. They say Ike brought it up out of Tina, but they say he also put his foot up in that. You dig a lies. And I'm not saying all this is like true about the Master P and Romeo situation. It's just that being from the outside looking in, I don't feel like we have the right to say anything is for sure or one way or the other. We so unprivy to so much. It's 30 years of experience that the young man is speaking from, and I'm still not saying he's right. My perspective is only, for the most part, that it's a sad situation that is being played out on social media. You would imagine that someone spent so much time in their life being viewed as an influential, powerful, and loving father. You would imagine that if something of this nature would come up behind the scenes, that it would be some way to be able to rectify it easily, quickly, before it blow up like this. But I find it interesting as well, similar to Marquise, that the mother is implicated and spoke of in the scenario. And I can only say, like, you know, my mother and father weren't together the majority of my life. And I love my daddy to death. On my mama, ride and die with him. I'll even defend him in times where, in verbal situations where my mother have a perspective and, you know, she's speaking about my father, I'll be defensive. However, there is absolutely no way, no how. My daddy like 6'4", 3-something, always has been. There's absolutely no way, no how I would ever stand for my father doing anything I deem disrespectful toward my mother. It'll be all the way on my mama. So I feel like it's a very interesting dynamic between the parents, the child, and the whole shit. And I just wish the best for Romeo and his daddy, man. You feel me? Like, we think about power couples, we always think about marriages. But as far as inspiration, black fatherhood, success, that was what we could have considered a power couple. I believe even at one point you could look at Will and Jaden in that sense as a power couple. And kind of like Bronny and LeBron. And they were an example of what we believe Master P come from nothing to something with the grind, the hustle, the application of ambition toward the industry and becoming a mogul. And then we saw what we see that can turn into as far as bringing up and being the next generation of wealth. It's very interesting to me as well that Romeo claims to have never been paid for being Lil Romeo. He claims that all the money that was generated by Lil Romeo, his pops just like took the money, controlled it as like his own money, and did certain things to help his son become established or stable as far as where he don't need a roof or he don't need no transportation. But Romeo acts as if he never got no checks. I find that as an interesting statement. I have a daughter who's 11, and she's been working in the entertainment industry the majority of her life. And she generates an income. And she has a savings of cash. A nice substantial amount to represent the amount of years she's been active. It's hers. It belongs to her. And salute to her moms for being, you know, efficient and doing it that way. But for him to say he never got paid, that's very interesting to me as well. On my mama. But I don't know, y'all. It's not, as far as being a parent, even outside of celebrityism, it's not as simple as it seems. We are taught a lot of time that, or we are under the impression that it is our duty to control, and direct another human being under our rule of fist, when, you know, I believe each human being has the right to make decisions for themselves that we feel we have for ourselves. And as a parent, it's hard to see that sometimes. And it can cause confusion when your children are making decisions you don't necessarily agree with. Not saying that any of that plays into their situation, but hope they get it together on my mama.
Yes, sir. One more gizzle.
SP out of the rider, was blinded by the street grinding. Never mind the homework, never had a double up. I hustled up my own work. And to this day, I've been getting it with no help. There's no better feeling than depending on your own self. Money talk, you better listen when that paper speak. Mistake the streets for sweet, white sheets, they play for keeps. A father first, ex-felon trying to feed his seeds. I'm compensated for the fact I chose to keep it G. Stuck to the script all the while watching weenies win. I'm a child of God, but every day I seem to sin. Your reputation be the reason that they shoot you down. Judging from my past, but I'm living in the future now. Dollars addictive, gotta have my daily dose. Multiple hustles, I focus on what pay me most. Fear no man, he breathe like me, he can bleed. But we can leave that beef behind and breathe some peace, I believe.
I'm just preparing for my future life, cause my mama ain't living right. So just in case I ain't living this one right, I'll be riding with no ceilings like, yeah. Cause I be out to get it, cause I can see me with it. I ain't worried about you niggas. I'm just minding up the business. I get it how I live it, so I live it how I get it.
I'll probably get no awards, no mention on the leaderboards. But take me to war, I promise you gon' need the Lord. Worldwide traveler, Los Angeles to Singapore. Sure, I can show her things she never seen before. Bump the horn and knock down the walls of Jericho. We pay them no mind, the laws call us terrible. Delilah had Samson, Eve made Adam fall. I ended up with none, y'all, trying to have them all. I go and get it, ain't with it, trying to wait it out. I laid it out, contemplated it, and weighed it out. Touched $1 million in my trap before I played it out. Faded out before they came and raided. Yep, I made it out. Tell them follow my footsteps, already laid the route. Nothing fake about me, no faith, who would they to doubt? Play me close, I'm supposed to pop that derriere. Promote the peace, but I take my pistol everywhere.
I'm just preparing for my future life, cause my mama ain't living right. So just in case I ain't living this one right, I'll be riding with no ceilings like, yeah. Cause I be out to get it, cause I can see me with it. I ain't worried about you niggas. I'm just minding up the business. I get it how I live it,
Y'all
so I
seen it.
live it how I get it.
Y'all seen it, seemed like Satan threw everything he had at me. Still standing, ain't understanding how y'all could be mad at me. Patience, push-ups, prayer on a healthy kick. Paint the perfect picture, me rolling, no selfie stick. Basically Baymacking, bonafide businessman. Religion don't define him better than his decisions can. Prodigal prophet, ain't worth half the price. Purchase, paid for after death, it's the afterlife. My future,
I'm just preparing for my future life, cause my mama ain't living right. So just in case I ain't living this one right, I'll be riding with no ceilings like, yeah. Cause I be out to get it, cause I can see me with it. I ain't worried about you niggas. I'm just minding up the business. I get it how I live it.
Nigga, that hustle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned, all that.